So, welcome everyone to Gathering Roll, the tabletop news program. Of course, this is the first Gathering the Roll of 2018. That's right, it's January 2nd, 2018. There isn't a lot of tabletop news this week, but as usual, I do want to keep up with it if I can. So, this week's news, coming out to you with what little we have, we're going to talk about. So, let's dive into it, though, because we do have our, of course, CCG binder to start out with. Let me just grabbing some stuff here. And let's dive into some Magic the Gathering news. Sorry for the images, these are the best I could find. So, Rivals of Ixalan. It is the new set that's coming out at the end of the month, and they are beginning to basically spoil things for it, and they have just revealed all these special keywords. Now for this one, it's all the same keywords as the last set, except for a new one, Ascend, displayed right here. So if you're interested in checking out what's coming up in the new Magic the Gathering set, now might be the chance for you to take a look, see if it's interesting to you. Say if it's, find out if it's something that you want to get into at the end of the month. I really liked Ixalan. I could recommend the Rivals. It's probably going to be very good too. But let's move on though, because we do have some tournament news from Magic the Gathering. Another Grand Prix. It's Grand Prix Santa Clara is going to be this weekend. From the 5th to the 7th. It's a team team trios constructed. That's a great way of saying it. They're kicking off the 2018 season with this. It's in Santa Clara, California. Teams of 3 players will compete in the main event, with different formats, standard, modern, legacy. Each player is playing a different one. So one player is playing standard, one's playing modern, one's playing legacy. An interesting way of trying it out, that you get 3 different types of decks thrown together. Really interesting. You might want to check out this. If you've got 3 friends and you're in California, this might be something you want to try to check out for, sign up for, see if you want to get it. They've got some interesting playmats and things. Registration is going to be open for a couple more days now, and it will have some on-site registration too. All right. Let's move on, though, from our RPG binder to CCG binder to our RPG bookshelf. Now, sorry about this image. It's very tiny. It's the best one I could find of this one. Starfinder Society. They've come out with a new product. A new, scenario. Blech, English there for a second. The Solar Sortie. So, this one is for levels 1 to 4. It's about the leader of the faction first uncovering hints of a conspiracy against the Starfinder Society, and the PCs are assisting Historia 7, this character that found this up, to uncover the truth. You must find a corporate you're sent to a corporate space station orbiting the Pack World's sun, and you have to earn favor with the son of the CEO, or the corporate CEO, in order to get the files that Historia needs. So you're stuck in the middle when a corrupt dilettante kind of emerges to help kind of thwart your undercover investigations. So it's an interesting combination of factors to make it a interesting adventure to check out. So it is available now, of course, in PDF format if you want it. Price is $5. As with most Starfinder Society scenarios. I sort of found a slightly better picture. Try this one. It's a picture of the cover. That's what I found. Sorry, I was trying to find you something there. Anyway, let's move on. Corporation. The rules are now available for free. There has been some great free stuff out for RPGs, but in the spirit of giving, the group that came out with this is offering up free download versions of the Corporation RPG book. It's a dystopian sci-fi world where countries are kind of a past thing, and companies rule. So everybody's aligned to a company. For Christmas, you can get a watermarked PDF available now. The hardcover book is on slight sale. It's still available if you want to get a hardcover book. It's all about a world where corporations now rules, and billions are basically the sole property of the companies that employ them. And the people are the rules of war and politics it's not the same because it's like corporate war, corporate politics in between them, and you're evaluated on your physical and mental use. I'm muted. The mic says I'm good. My mic says I'm recording. You can't hear me? It's okay. It's okay. So it's taking place in 2050 AD, and you're kind of getting recruited as an ancient. There's a lot going on here in this kind of corporation, futuristic-based RPG, and the fact that it's available for free now, if you want to get the PDF version of it, is actually a really cool thing. Granted, you can still get the physical version. It's like $51 on sale right now on Drive-Thru RPG, but you know, it's another interesting RPG that they're offering a way that you can check it out, play the rules, and have a fun time. Corporation RPG, it has been out, but the rules are now available for free. So check it out if you're interested. Let's move on though, because Skirmish Publishing has given a special thing for us, for those of us that like holiday games, festivals and holidays, high holy days. I'm sorry. And they're giving out a third-party book for Pathfinder in particular about basically festivals and holidays that you're going to be putting into your calendars. Wow. You see, I'm losing words today. I lost calendars, too. So, when you're building a calendar for a world, nothing says nothing, but you want to, like, add in a holiday at some point in time. In place of jubilation, reverence, things like that. And it adds a little flavor to the campaign and campaign world. So, of course, taking a break for whatever kind of season your characters are going to be on is a good. And they detail basically dozens of different types of holidays, details on how to add them into your role-playing games, ways of adapting them to the world that you're building. It's specifically made to use with Pathfinder, but a lot of the things they establish in it could be used in other RPG systems if you wanted to. Any OGL-based game pretty much can be easily adapted or related to a lot of the information that they're providing here. So there's a lot of different options available, not just Pathfinder. Granted, if you're doing Pathfinder, this might be good if you want to do some interesting holidays for Pathfinder. But a lot of those kind of D20 systems and things like that, it might not be a bad idea for you to check it out if you want to get a little bit of that. So, let's move on, though, because we don't really have a card game desk today. Our card game desk and our board game pile are going to kind of be combined here because there's not a lot of releases. Well, I guess we can hit the real card game part first. Because, you know what? I can. So, Star Wars, Swayed by the Dark Side. It's a force pack for Star Wars the card game. So, our card game desk has got something to it. You're driven to the boundaries of individual factions, and trying to forge alliances with other great powers. You may be trying to bring the Ancient Order of the Jedi together with the Rebel Alliance, Coalition of Smugglers of Skies. There's a lot of things you can be doing within the card game itself. So, in the card game, apparently Ewoks have long since been against the forces of the dark side. And so there's something that's going to be here too. Again. So Ewok allies. Yeah. Ewoks. I think that's probably a good way of saying that. There's other stuff available in this, but there's Ewoks too. Because Ewok. Alright, we're good with this one. I don't know what else to say about the Star Wars card game after that one. After it kind of, you hit that point. And where are you going to go from here? Anyway. Moving on, because we did talk a little bit of Android Netrunner, a data pack for Android is out, the Sovereign Sight. Okay, it's part of the Katara cycle of Android the Netrunner. And there's a new staple of cards for it. It's kind of the first rotation since they put out their revised edition. There's a couple of new viruses for the Anarch group of Anarchs. Waylands receive a new gray op to push the runners to the corner, and HP spins up a new division. So a lot of the groups are getting some things from here to help you out for them. The HB is getting a couple of things too. So a lot of all the different groups within Android the Netrunner are getting some things, programs, defenses, various things. That's adding a little bit to your games overall. And some interesting cards, which you can check out on Fantasy Flight's website to see about some of the cards that are being provided with this pack, just to get an idea if you're interested in it to enhance your Android Netrunner games, which is basically Shadowrun. Yep. Let's move on, though. Let's talk about some releases from AGE, or AG. Oof. AG has released a couple new board games, so I guess this counts as a board game pile, though one of them might be a card game. Two of them, and one of them is a party game. So this is going to fill up our rest of our card game desk, board game pile, and party game closet. Let's start, of course, with Masters Trials. So, it's 1 to 4 players cooperate to defeat Magmarth. You can play solo. They have strategies for playing the 4 different characters that they can talk about. Legends say they have a great time of travel. Masters the Element Order will leave their ancestral treats. Join together, restore peace in the world. Usual sort of storyline. And beneath the one volcano is this Magmarth. It's emerging. He's born of fire and earth, and he's going to basically be a ruthless and primal leader of everything and burn stuff that is in his wake. And of course, the players represent one of these masters of the band together to fight the elemental evil. You build your character, roll and move dice to use as powerful techniques. Kind of master together and work together to defeat it before time runs out in this interesting board/card game, I would call it. So it is available now. It's 1 to 4 players. It takes about 60 to 90 minutes. Got a lot of stuff on it. About $50 for it, so it's got a pretty decent number of cards. This might be more card gaming. Anyway, let's move on, though, because we got a couple more that came out from AG. Mikami Arms. It's a 2-player fighting game where you play the role of a Mikami. They're channeled through the delicate petals of a sakura tree. Choose 2 Mikami each game to create a combination of powers. Defeat your opponents. Prove you're the most powerful fighter. It's got a lot of Japanese feel to it. It's from Japan, technically. It was hugely popular in some tournaments and online there, and it's being released here with a US English release. It's got some very, very interesting and beautiful art. It's meant to be very easy. 7 characters. It's a 2-player game, 30 minutes, $30. Not a bad price for a small playboard kind of game combination that you can get now. All right. Also out is Tjuta. Okay. It's a classic game, kind of with a new look. So it's technically more of a release at this point in time. You're going to influence. You have kind of influence in pesos to be a president of the Republic de las Bananas. You're going to use money for bribes, to pay for assassinations, or just to pay the bills in general. I mean, that's always a good thing. And sometimes even with a little money, you might need a little intrigue on the side there too. Maybe assassinate someone is just something you need to take care of to, well, win the day. So we're coming back to this basically card game that was originally out. This is a re-release of it, re-update. It's a fast play, brutal. You win. You know when to win over your opponents or to assassinate them is effectively what it is. 2 to 7 players, about 2-hour gameplay, $40 for everything that's part of it. For the classic, for the yes, thank you. So, yep, out now. You also can still get the classic for $20. So, anyway, that's also out. And the last one from AEG is Think It Up, a party game. So we do have some kind of party game. So sometimes you will have things in various games where you might have something like choose the letter M. How many names can you come up with in 1 minute that start with that? Other things that, like, using another letter, like longest female name starting with Q, or not Q is a terrible one, R. A short drink that starts with O, you know, and being faster than your opponents. So it's the right word at the right time is what this game is to get victory. It's meant for all ages, 2 to 10 players, 30 minutes to play, 20 minutes to get the game, 60 themed cards, 26 letter cards, so that you have a combination of a letter and a theme to find out what's going on. And you don't have to be the most knowledgeable, you just have to be smart enough to answer the faster than everybody else. And each player takes turns drawing a theme and letter and try to recall the right words first. Pretty simple gameplay. So, out now. It's an interesting little party game you might want to check out. So, this week, we have one Kickstarter for our Kickstarter corner to finish up today. There's probably some more I could find online at some point. I might try to locate a few extras for discussing tabletop this weekend, but for now I've only located one from my normal sources. So this one's Thunder in the East. It is definitely a World War II battle game, and it's all about the Russian front. So that's the big thing about it. It's a two-player. It is two-player, though it can easily be played solitaire, as most war games can be, and it could also be small teams. So there's a strategic level of the It's really made for two-player, but there are other ways to play with it if really necessary. And it's a World War II Eastern Front war game. It's done by game designer Frank Chadwick. He does a lot of games apparently. I'm not sure how legendary he is, what they describe as that. Anyway, 24 days to go. It is funded. It has reached 200% of its goal. It had a goal of 18,000. It's reached 36, so it's doubled its goal. It's working on stretch goals. It will be a long game. It's a war game, so they're recommending per scenario 8 to 12 hours. Think about that. It's a long game because it is a war game and a big one, and that's per scenario. So this is definitely a game, if you're going to do it, you're going to have the time for it. That's the caveat. Granted, plenty of us out there have played long games. We play Risk, we play Twilight Imperium, so it's understandable. Now, they are hitting a couple of stretch goals. They have some bonus cards that they've been getting through it, some special dice upgrades, more bonus cards, There's an Operation Barbossa historical setup, which is a PDF, which is the next thing that they'll get at 39k. And then more bonus cards, more dice upgrades, and more rewards as they go up there in their rewards and max out all their stuff. So, it's emphasizing historical research to have a very accurate to history setup for the battles. Now, granted, the actual outcome will depend on your exact gameplay for this. It has 6 scenarios total, and you can either play scenarios or full campaign. You kind of can keep track of your scenario dates. It's a grand scale of the Allied Corps versus the Soviet Army, so it's still got some time on it. Definitely got a lot of days. It's funded. If you like this kind of game, you can get a copy for 100. That's their basic pledge. That's their first reward pledge, is a copy of the game. And all the unlocked stretch goals. So, Thunder of the East, it's out now. And I think that's it for our news for this week. It's been a short one. The week after Christmas before New Year's is not always the busiest one. I hope everybody is having a great day, though. I thank you all for joining me. If you have any questions about any of these games or more, please just either, let me know now or send me in the comments when this goes up on my YouTube channel. You can also, I have to really block that a little better so I get that light a little worse off there behind me. You can also message me on Twitter. Or Joe or Worm. You can send me if you want us to talk about it on Discussing Tabletop for a little bit more discussion question format. You can email us at discussingtabletop@yahoo.com. There's lots of ways to contact us. You can always reach me in my Discord to talk about these games and more, any kind of role-playing related questions. If you have anything question related big on role-playing or any kind of games, not just these, you can contact us on the various things for discussing tabletop. Yes, send us questions, as Worm says. We will love to answer your questions about any kind of tabletop that you need to ask about, from making a magic deck to rules questions in a role-playing game to whatever. Just let us know. Anyway, so that'll be it. I will be back next week for more news. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week.